Hello and welcome to this week's reading vlog. It is hopefully going to actually be a week this time. It is January 18th and I have yet to physically read the two books on my TBR. I've gone through all of my poetry books and I've done graphic novels, but I have not done my book club book, which is very key because that was one of my New Year's resolutions. I've got a bookmark in here, but I haven't started it. This is gonna be the focus of this reading vlog. I'm gonna get through the mistake and we're gonna go for it because I need to get this done. It's the 18th. I cannot believe I've already procrastinated. I mean, I can, but I cannot believe I've procrastinated this long already because it's a real short book. Like, I'll be able to get through it. I just need to sit down and do it. So this is gonna be the focus of this reading vlog. However, I am never without an audiobook. So I am currently listening to two, which is unlike me because usually when I pick up an audiobook, I will binge it. So unless I'm like buddy reading it with someone else. I'm currently reading They Both Die at the End. I bought this one years ago on audiobook and now I can't find it. I don't know which accounts it's on, so I just got it from the library because it's available at the library. And I love my libraries. So listening to this one, I wasn't sure that I was gonna like this and I immediately clicked with it. Like, you know those audiobooks that just like, you start listening to it and I'm like, yep, I'm good with this. Like, this is a bingeable book. And I know everybody says that physically reading, but the audiobook is immediately bingeable. So I started listening to this one and I am currently an hour in. It's saying I have 5 hours and 45 minutes left. This is a 9-hour audiobook, but I listened to it at 1.6 is usually my normal. I'm currently at 1.65 speed. So that's where I'm at for that one. I also picked up Malice by Heather Walter. So I was lucky enough to be able to do a author meet and greet with my job. We're still in COVID land, like we're still in the pandemic, so of course it's not in person. Heather Walter is, actually she's from Texas, so we did video call and there's, you know, like about 20 of us in this video call and she gets interviewed and stuff, and then we have options to ask her questions. So this is a book that's been on my radar this was like one of my most anticipated reads of 2021 and I never got to it. I tried to pick it up and I have a hard time doing non-contemporary or anything that's in the real world, anything that's got to establish a world that's the slightest bit of fantasy. I have a harder time doing it in audiobook form, only because when I'm doing audiobooks, I am doing multiple different things at once. So I need something that I don't have to remember the world building for, unless it's like a reread. So I tried to pick this up because I was highly anticipating this. I was excited when it released and then I never picked it up. And then this author event came out and I was like, oh, I want to do this. And then I forgot about the author event until the the previous day, like the day before my author event. And then my calendar reminded me that I had an author event. And I was like, ah, shit, I never listened to that book. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to finish it before it, but I felt guilty. So I tried to check it out. And of course it has like 6 weeks or something on waiting. So I ended up just buying it with my Libro FM credit. By the way, I don't count audiobooks that I buy because I don't buy that many audiobooks as my owned TBR. So just, because usually I'll just pick them up and then read them. But I started this one and it is clicking with me. So I'm so glad about that. I have like 7 hours left because I listen to fantasy just slightly slower. I listened to it at 1.5. 7 hours and 22 minutes left of this one. And I'm really enjoying this one. This one is a Sleeping Beauty retelling and I didn't get spoiled for the author event. I was really nervous about that because I was like, this is one that I legitimately want to read. And her next book, Misrule, it's coming out and the paperback release is coming out in February. So I was excited to start this one and I'm really enjoying it. It is a Sleeping Beauty retelling like I just said, but it is with Aurora. I think it's Aurora, and Alice, who is like the evil one. It's a villain retelling. So I'm excited. They like fall in love. I'm pretty sure it's those two. I know it's a woman-loving woman retelling of Sleeping Beauty, but I'm not sure who the couple is yet. I don't know. There was some like little tidbits in the author event, but it was very unclear because I hadn't read the whole thing. But the way that she spoke about it was so good. The way that like she was, how like you can tell how much the story meant to her and how invested she was about it, and like the types of stories she writes. Like she is just the type of author that makes you excited to read her books. It is incredible. So like I'm very excited about that. So I got those two audiobooks going, but I'm gonna focus on The Mistake first. We're gonna sit down and read this today, but I have some creative juices flowing right now, so I'm gonna create a template that you're gonna be seeing in my vlogs, hopefully. So we're gonna work on that a little bit, and then I will check back in with you guys with The Mistake. I'm gonna read it today, right, Aria? If you guys don't know, this is my doggo, Aria. She's like, what are you doing? Can you say hi? Hi, baby. She's like the chillest dog. And of course, you know the cats, you'll see them crawling around here. I will check back in with you guys in a little bit. Okay, wait a second. There's a guy in here named John Tucker, like from the movie John Tucker Must Die, and he's a man whore. So far, like, I'm literally like 6 pages in, but I forget that like cockiness is one of my biggest pet peeves, and they definitely have that, but they're supposed to have that. That's like the trope in here. It's just a little grating, and I get like that's where the character development's gonna come from, so I can like deal with it. But really, John Tucker, Grace, who I assume is the main character, is starting off college a virgin, and the main character has had sex with 5 different women in 4 days. Oh god, this is so tropey, I can feel it. This should be interesting. I hope I don't rag on this. Like, I hope that's not the intent, because this is a book club book. But it may turn into that. I guess we'll find out. I'm gonna keep reading and I'll check in with you guys in a little bit. Hello, it is January 20th. I almost forgot what month it was. It's January 20th, Thursday, and I wanted to update you guys since I didn't update you last night. I haven't done any physically reading because I actually got ahead of my editing, and I'm very proud about that. So that means I can read for the rest of the week and not have to worry about it. So I didn't physically read anything, but I did get some audiobook time in, and I ended up, I'm now about halfway through They Both Die at the End. So I'm overall enjoying it. I would say the characters are very catchy, and like they're very compelling to continue like following along the storyline. The only thing I would say is that there is a lot of characters that are introduced that I'm not sure why. Like, are we going to continue following them? Are they just like little bursts of like information? So I feel like there's a bunch of like other characters that were introduced, but then all of a sudden we're getting their point of view. So I'm like, okay, are they important? But then they just kind of like slip away. So I don't know, maybe I'm halfway through though. So I'm like, why are we getting the point of view of the caller? Why are we getting the point of view of Rufus? Like, Rufus is the ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend, I think. I'm just not sure why we're getting all of these different side character point of views. So we'll see what I think about that. I'm enjoying it so far, but I think it would get knocked down a point from that, but I am really enjoying it. I like the idea, even though it's dystopian. So I guess if you guys don't know, it's a big TikTok book, so I'm sure a lot of people know. And it's a quite old book. They Both Die at the End. they live in this dystopian society, or I guess utopian, I'm not sure. I would call it dystopian society, but I think it's set in the future of when you call, or when you are about to die, you get a call 24 hours in advance letting you know that you're about to die. And that way you've got 24 hours to fully live out your last day knowing it's your last day. But then you also have the thing of being terrified for 24 hours that you're gonna die. So they have this app that's called the Last Friend app that they can match you up with people who also got the last call, so you're not alone on your last day. You know, if you don't want to spend it with family, like just feeling sorry for yourself, like you can be impulsive with this person who also is not going to care, or in this case does care and is being super cautious, like not wanting to die. So that's what we do have going on. We've got two main characters who don't know each other. They both got the call and they are living out their last day together, and it's quite interesting so far, and they have like different backgrounds and all that stuff. So that's where we're at. I'm officially late. I need to go to work now, and I will check back in with you guys probably tomorrow. Hello, and welcome back to the reading vlog. It is day, I don't know. I gotta stop with that intro because I never know what day I have vlogged in, but it's Friday, and I haven't physically read, but I have listened to a decent chunk of my audiobook. So I've been listening to They Both Die at the End. I have, it says about an hour left now, and I've just been listening to it for like, I don't know, like 20 minutes this morning. So I'm gonna do a quick spoiler of this book if you haven't read this. So where we're at in the book right now, they've just met up with, like they're meeting up with all of their friends now, and they're going to the party. And we already know that his ex's boyfriend, who he beat up in the beginning, is now like has a gun and is looking for him. So I swear to God, I will get it if, like, why people cry during this book, because I think that Mateo is going to like dive in front of the bullet to save his last friend. And I will be real sad. I think it's Mateo. Ari wanted to be in next to me. So that's what I think. I think one of them is gonna die like diving in front of a bullet from the other person, like to save the other person. I don't know how the other one is gonna die, but I'm gonna be real sad if that happens. I don't know if I'll cry, but I'll be real sad. Okay, spoilers are done. Something else that I said in this reading vlog was I didn't understand why we were getting so many different perspectives. And I think I'm understanding it a little bit more, because I think the whole point is this is a really weird dystopian utopia type of situation, knowing you're for sure gonna die. But they're like talking about like, oh, you should live. And if anything, like I would have thought if you knew when you were gonna die, that means you knew, like if you didn't get the call, you were not gonna die, the people would be living more impulsively. They would go do like skydiving because they didn't get the call, so they know they would be fine type of thing. Or I guess there's other things besides death. You could be injured, but you know that you weren't gonna die. So they kind of touch on that they should have lived more when they were not dying. And I guess that's also like a concept we can relate to this too, is that like living out of fear versus living out of, I don't know, security or safety or something like that. So yeah, overall it's a good book. It definitely makes you think about mortality and stuff like that. I'm gonna guess that that's how one of them is gonna die though. I will check back in with you guys and we will see if I was right. So I'm gonna just do some cleaning around the house. I only have an hour left, so I'm gonna knock this one out and then we will see. I'll probably pick up more of the mistake. Okay, what the actual shit? Like, that book just, you are on a roller coaster. I will say, I like teared up at like 2 points. Like, just like a little like, not like full crying like I've seen most people do, but I totally get it. Like, if I was a crier, I would be sobbing too. Oh, I don't even know how to like talk about this without spoilers. Let's just say like the end of the book, I literally was like that's how it ends. And I know like the title of the book, but like, what? I just, ooh, I don't know how I feel about it. It's very sad, and it's like, it's such a well-crafted book. It keeps you on your edge, even though you know the ending, but like, you're like waiting for the shoe to drop type of thing. It doesn't feel like a 5-star to me, and I cannot explain why. It just doesn't, but it's like solid 4 stars. I wasn't expecting to like move me that much, but damn. I would say like, if you like Scythe, so like talking about the mortality of death and the meaning of life and all of that like type of stuff, I would pick up this. This is a little bit more contemporary, like, well, it's a lot more contemporary, because I read Scythe and didn't love it. Like, I ended up giving it, I think, like a 3 out of 5 stars or something. Like, it was okay, but it was not my thing. But if you like that, like, if you like that little snippet of Scythe by Neil Shusterman about talking about death, and that's what I really liked about that book, totally read this book. Even if you didn't like Scythe, if you liked that aspect of it, I would read this book. Be prepared. This is not a happy, like, it's a happy sad book, because like finally living and all of that and like getting to know the characters and all of that too. But obviously like it's called They Both Die at the End. So sad. I felt like we heard about a lot of different Deckers in here and we never got to see them like how their story played out, so I didn't like love that part of it too, is that it felt like there was too many loose threads in there that we didn't get to like have some closure on. But it was a really good book overall. So I'm gonna give this a 4 out of 5 stars for this one. But holy crap, I was not expecting to. I can't believe people are reading this during a pandemic. Like, people like were going hard for this book, like peak pandemic, like 2020 when it first started, and like mortality and death and knowing when you're gonna die, and then we've got the pandemic going on. Like, wow, y'all are just masochistic at this point. So my camera is going to die, so I'm gonna go charge my camera. I'm gonna pick up The Mistake, but I'm going to get a little like happy reality TV show time in, so I'm gonna go do that. And then I will check back in with you guys after I read some Mistake. Hello, it is now, it's been a minute since I've updated you. It's Monday, January 24th, and I haven't updated you in a little bit. I have finished Malice by Heather Walter. Holy crap, that ending. I recommend it. It is a very fun fantasy Sleeping Beauty retelling, and I am excited to see what's going to come next for the second book in the series that releases fairly soon, I think, actually. It's not spicy. It's just a good book. And yeah, like I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I just finished it today and I really enjoyed it. It like, once I got into it, it like went by super fast. I am on chapter 12 of The Mistake and 89 pages into The Mistake. I'm enjoying this one so far. The spicy scenes are great. I will say, like, it's the characters I don't love. So that's like the one downside, is I'm supposed to be like swooning over these characters and I am not, just because they're like frat boy-y characters. So it's gonna be, I expected it to be similar to The Deal, where like I like the girls in here, they're like snarky. This one is not so snarky. She's more like quirky and awkward, but all the boys are like frat boys because they're all hockey boys. So that's the trope on that. I'm enjoying it, but they definitely do have some gripes that
irk me. So this one will probably go up either during the week of our book club or after. But I took a screenshot of it to specifically bring up. So it, like, right away, like in the beginning, he talks about if it takes me more than 20 minutes or 10 minutes, he like says like something like, if it takes me more than 20 minutes to make you come, like I'm doing something wrong. And I just did not appreciate that like sentiment, the fact that we're like putting that out in romance books, and like I sincerely hope that people are not reading that and being like, oh no, that's the standard, like something's going wrong if that's not the threshold. Which is wildly unfair because people have different needs and their bodies are all different. So I just really disliked that. That really bothered me that that was like in there. Also, the fact that he could just like tell that she was a virgin. Like I just was just like mocking it in my brain, being like, come on, you've got to be kidding me. That he could like look at someone and know she was a virgin. Like, oh my God. Just continual eye rolls in this. There's also another part in this book that says like something like she's innocent but she's not naive or something like that, like, and just like list off a bunch of different things, and that also bothered me. I'm gonna have to go back and find out before we talk about the live show. Like his perception of this girl is damsel in distress. I don't think she's a damsel in distress, but for some reason, when we're like from his point of view, she's a damsel in distress. And it bothers me. So, but weirdly enough, I'm still enjoying it. Like, I wasn't, my bar is kind of low for this book, so I guess that helps it. That I wasn't expecting a 5-star book because of the type of romance book this is. It's not been great. Like, so far, like, it's at maybe a 3-star right now. But I'm only 89 pages in. That's gonna be it for my update right now, as Watson marks the book as his own. Oh, also, I am currently, I tried listening to We Were Liars after I finished Malice, because I checked that out on the library, and it's only like 6 hours on the library, and I was like, cool, like I can like start it. And the formatting, the way it's told is so weird. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it as an audiobook. I'm going to have to like read it / audiobook maybe. We'll see. But that's going to, I've like got that on the docket to be finished. So I think I'm like on track to get everything on my TBR thing done. So I decided to pick up It Happened One Summer. This is supposed to be it's by Tessa Bailey. It's inspired by the main girl off of Schitt's Creek. I've watched a few seasons of Schitt's Creek, so I can kind of like tell that the main girl is very similar to her. But I literally just started, so I can't tell you much besides she's like a party girl who's basically gonna have to fend for herself. That's where I'm at 41 minutes into this book. So that's everything that I know about this. I'm going into it blind. It's just a romancy that everybody seems to love. So that's my update. I'm going to read more of The Mistake, and I will check back in with you guys tomorrow. Hello. It is January 25th, and I wanted to update you. I have done quite a bit of reading, laying on the couch, being a bum, reading, and finishing this before book club. So I am now on page 175. There's only 288 pages in this book. So, I'm enjoying it so far. I really like the pacing of where it's at right now. So, we're in Grace's sophomore year. Without doing any more, like getting too much spoilers. We're in sophomore year. And we're seeing like some development and growth, and I'm liking like the dynamic that's being played out right now. So I don't have too much to say besides I'm enjoying it. He's not as frat boy-y as he was, so that's been helping things. And yeah, I'm gonna continue reading, and I will hopefully finish this fairly soon. Now, probably not today, but fairly soon. So I will check back with you in a little bit. Okay guys, it is now Wednesday, January 26th. And I have actually done quite a bit of reading, just not a lot of updating. So I am so close to finishing this. I'm on page 221. There's about 280 left in here. So I'm very close to finishing this. I will definitely finish this week. You're definitely gonna have to like come along for the live show, or if you're seeing this after, go watch the live show, because we've been having a lot of thoughts. The main character is not as douchey, but it's still not my favorite. Just because we've got the like sports guy trope in here. But that's not, I went into it knowing it was a sports guy trope, so I can't fault it too much for that. But I'm still enjoying this. I'm liking their dynamic a lot more now that we are like farther into the book, so that's nice. But definitely not gonna be like a standout favorite for me. And also I am listening to this one by Tessa Bailey that's all over TikTok, and it's called It Happened One Summer. And this one is not my favorite. I just don't think that Tessa Bailey is for me. I really liked her one book that was like, I think like the second book in the series, but she's just, something about her writing style, it just doesn't jive with me. And I know y'all are gonna be disappointed because everybody loves this book, but it just is not, it's not it for me. And if this is your jam, I'm happy for you, but she just is a little bit too crude in her writing style for me, that it is a little bit jarring and it takes me out of the story a bit. So I don't like love the like dirty talk that she uses in her books, because it seems to be like an ongoing theme that everybody like, you know, really hated in Fix Her Up, that he constantly used baby girl, and it drove like a lot of people nuts. And if that drove you nuts, do not read this one, because it's gonna be, there's something similar in here. And there's just, for me, like, I don't like Piper. Like, I like him, he's great in here, like, he's very complex, and I like that, like, all of this stuff, but like the spoiled rich girl trope like irks me. And I appreciate she's got a lot of character growth in here, and you know, you definitely see it, but also it's in the same mindset of like, I don't want you to change yourself, like I like you being spoiled type of thing in here too. So it just is, this book is not for me so far. Like, I hate to say it, but I think this one's gonna be like a 2.5 stars for me, just because they're just, so many things are just not driving with me. I like the town, I like him, I like the crew, I like the whole like fisherman's idea, like the career of that, and like the ins and outs of all of that stuff, and like the dangers of it. I liked learning all about that. I even liked the like, there's like remodeling happening here. Don't care for their like relationship as much. Like, I don't see really the, like, they got together so quick and I didn't feel like the connection was genuine. It just was like based off of lust, which is not the way that they talk. So it didn't feel quite right. It felt a little like insta-lovey to me. I may pick up the second one because I liked the second one in the series of Fix Her Up way better than I liked Fix Her Up. So I think that's probably going to be the similar vibe here, if it is going the same way that I think is going, which is going to be following her sister. And her sister is not as, like, she is fully aware of her privilege, and she's a lot more like down to earth, not a party girl type of style. So I think if we're following her, I'm going to enjoy that one a lot better. Plus who her partner is like the playboy-y type. I don't, so that there's the downside of that, is that like, I like the guy, the main character in this one a lot better than the guy, but if it's who I think it's gonna be in the second book, it's probably gonna be following the playboy, which I don't care about as much. It's undecided. If it's available at my library, I'll probably pick it up. But yeah, I'm 85% of the way through it, and it took about, I think it was like at 53% of the way through this book that I started to like actually enjoy it more versus just feeling like, man, this book feels long. So that is my reading updates. I'm gonna try to get some more done. I haven't decided if I'm gonna just finish off the audiobook or if I'm gonna try to physically read and finish off The Mistake, but I'm gonna be doing a little bit of reading. Oh, also, I finally was able to complete the prompt for my TBR, which is go buy a book. And my book that my graphic novel that I've been waiting to come in finally came in. So I kind of indulged a little bit and just ended up getting the whole series. So I'm pretty excited about this and to continuing on with this. Even if this storyline takes a turn, the graphic, like the art style by Stefan Sejic is so beautiful that I think it won't bother me as bad, because the art style and illustrations of graphic novels really pushes me forward through a story. Even if I don't love what's happening, like I will continue going because I will, like it's very endearing, like the art style is very endearing. So that's why I'm like super picky with my graphic novels. If I don't jive with the art style, even if I love the premise of it, I won't be able to continue it because I want to be able to like the illustrations, and that's what makes graphic novels so different. So I definitely will be picking up volume 2 to get that prompt completed. But I'm very excited that all of those came. Like I was waiting for 2 and 3 to come in, and they came in, and so then like I just was like, okay, now I get to collect and have all of them. And that's a full series. So the series is fully completed and I'm excited to be able to just dive in and binge it. Also, this came in and I snagged this one up. Frankly, I don't know a ton of stuff about what this is about. I know people are really hyped for this book. I really loved Addie LaRue. That was probably one of my favorite reads last year. And so that, like, and I've always liked V.E. Schwab or Victoria Schwab's writing style. It's really beautiful and different and lyrical, and this like totes obviously the same writing style in here, but it's got like some illustrations mixed in here too. And there's like short pages, but then there's also like, you know, like legitimately novel size pages as well. And it's just such a unique story already, like looking through it. And it like is like square. So I'm excited to like add this one to the lineup. And this one comes out March. I think it's March 14th, but I'm not positive now. March 1st it comes out. So that is all the stuff that I brought home from work today. And yeah, I may pick up my graphic novel really quick to start that one in to get this done. But I also really need to finish The Mistake. I'll check in with you after something is being picked up. Hey guys, so I realized I never ended off this reading vlog. I have finished The Mistake and our live show is actually tonight. I wanted to update you guys, like definitely go check out the live show because I think it should be very interesting. I am ending up giving this one a 3 out of 5 stars, and I don't really have any interest continuing, mainly because I'm not a fan of the whole, like, arrogance is one of my biggest pet peeves, like, in a romantic partner. So, like, the cocky, like, player boy trope is not for me. It's not attractive to me, like, not even in the, like, problematic way that people find things in books problematic, but they still love it. No, it just annoys the bejesus out of me. And that's what, I mean, they're all hockey players. And I'm sure there's very nice, humble hockey players out there. But in this book, that, like, you know, living up to the hype is the same story over and over. Which is cocky hockey player who sleeps around with all these girls and then meets this one girl who's not fully interested in him, or like is resistant, and now he's fallen in love. Like, that's what the first book was, that's what the second book was, that sounds like what the third book is. So I'm not continuing on with the story because of all those reasons I just said. If that's your trope, go for it. I'm not here to judge, but it's not for me with that trope. that being said, it got a 3-star because I really do like I know this is gonna sound like I'm backtracking. I like the characters. I like the character without that part of that stupid trope in there. I like the familial issues in both books. I think that really gave them both some depth that I appreciated. I like both of the girls for the most part, and I like that obviously they're like at college scene, like it's new adults. So it definitely has some redeeming qualities in it. Also, the sex scenes can either be super cringe or great, but it definitely goes through the ranges in this book. So yeah, if you're looking for a smutty, cocky sports romance, pick it up. It just, I don't think this is for me. I don't know if it's Elle Kennedy, like, and her writing, or if it's the tropes in here, but it's not for me. I'm not gonna continue. So that is my update and finishing off this reading vlog. It is now February 1st. I am going to film my updates, so you'll see all of those first. Definitely check those out, and our live show. But that is gonna be it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye!